Hey guys, I am back with another Spyderco from Alex over at the Knifebox channel. So, link to his channel down below. This one is actually very cool. I mean, they're all cool, right? But this one, it just appeals to me more than a lot of the other ones. So this is a Manix2, part number and all that. These got aftermarket scales because it's Alex, and an aftermarket clip, which we'll talk about, and an aftermarket backspacer. The cool thing about the backspacer is, and we'll just charge it up right now, the backspacer glows in the dark, which is just cool. Give it a little bit of a blast on the inside too. I mean, that's a cool factor right there just because. So, yeah, of course I'm going to like it. Excuse me. So, let's just jump into the specs. 4 5/8 closed. 8 inches overall. 3.4-inch blade with a 2.95 cutting edge. Yeah, you lose a lot of cutting edge. Okay? One, I measure the blade from the scale out, and then they put the big finger choil in. It just, yeah, you lose some cutting edge. It is what it is. Now, the blade steel on this is very unique, and if you can see, it's CPM 154 and S90V. So this is a Sanmai constructed blade. And you can see that line right in here where the two steels are, kind of segregated. Again, on this side, the grind is a little bit more uniformed, if you will, there. That's just very cool. Okay, it gives you a really super hard steel on the inside core where you can sharpen it over and over, and a little bit softer material on the outside. And we can probably see it here on the back. You can see where it's just got the two different metals in there, which is very cool. I mean, that's just cool. And that part of the knife is bone stock Spyderco. Okay? So the blade thickness is 0.124, 0.509 overall, and it weighs in at 4.5 ounces. It's very fidgety and cool. Now, it's not Benchmade access lock exactly, but it kind of is. I think it's a little bit tougher to pull the lock back on the Spyderco than it is on the Benchmade. Partially because the Benchmade one, it sticks out farther than the Spyderco. So it's a little easier to just kind of grip and pull back. Plus, I think the Omega spring in the Benchmade is a little bit lighter than the spring in the Spyderco. Okay? But it's pretty drop shut when you pull that lock back. So it's pretty fidgety and cool. Okay? So now Alex can't leave well enough alone. So he had to change the scales. These are Putnam G10 scales in their, honeycomb pattern. And then he thought he'd be fancy with the Adam Purvis clip in Timascus, which looks really nice, but works really crappy. So, yeah. And he is going to change it back or get a different clip. I don't think he likes the normal Spyderco, but there's just no spring, there's no way to really tell you other than it just sucks. That's all. It just sucks, and he's going to change it. So, which I get. I mean, a lot of times when you're modding a knife, you're modding a car, a truck, or whatever. When you're doing these things, we buy a lot of parts and pieces, okay? And I've talked about this. I don't mod knives, but I have modded my car. I've built cars and Jeeps and spent a ton of money doing that stuff. You can only do so much research. And then you just have to buy a part and you have to try it for yourself, right? I mean, I've bought many a thing for my car or my truck or my Jeep that just didn't really do what I thought it was going to do. Like, I mean, it worked, it fit, and it went on, but it didn't give me, the performance that I wanted. It had some other nuance to it that I didn't like, and things like that. So we take it off and we either put the stock piece back on or we buy another aftermarket something, and we switch this piece 3 or 4 times. That's just how it goes. That's part of the modding game. It really, truly is. Now, this knife I really do like. I like the blade shape. I like the thickness of it. Yeah, there's nothing I don't like about this knife, honestly. I like the blue color. I like the glow-in-the-dark backspacer. Other than the clip, I don't like the clip either. But put either maybe just the regular Spyderco clip back on, and I'd be okay with that. I don't know what Alex is going to do, but yeah, this is just a cool knife. This is something you could really get in and work with and just use. And I think you'd be very, very happy with the Manix2. So let's do a couple of quick size comparisons for you, and then we'll let you get on with your day. The Ever-Loving Sharpie. I should get some different colored Sharpies and bring out a blue one to go with the blue knives and a red one to go with the red-handled knives. And okay, maybe that's going a little bit too extreme. Spyderco Delica. I do still have the police model out here on the table. And how about the black bladed Hellraiser P-Series? So you can see it's very similar in size. I mean, this one's a little bit thicker maybe, so it's a little bit more comfortable grip. But this one, I feel like I could use this knife harder than I would use this knife because of the stout, hefty blade, if you will, of the Manix2. I don't know. Maybe I need to get back into Spydercos. Maybe that was Alex's intention by sending me a box full of Spydercos. Get back to my roots, right? Because I've talked about it before. The Spyderco police model was what started me into knives way back in the late 80s when they first came out. So, I don't know. This is one I would pick up. A military I would pick up. I would always wanted a civilian model just because it's kind of got that hook at the end of the serrated blade and stuff. So there's some that I've wanted just because. Not that I'm going to carry these certain ones. But, I don't know. We'll see. I got my eye on the prize for a watch. So once that's bought, hopefully mid-July, end of July, then maybe I'll start thinking about some other knives. We'll see. There you go, guys. The Spyderco Manix2, customized and modified by Alex from the Knifebox channel. Thanks, Alex, for sending this in, and thanks, everyone, for watching. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.